Good evening, Mr. McCarthy. My name is Kevin Morrison. I'm an historian with Liberty University, and also we're neighbors of sorts. My family and I live here in Bakersfield, California. We're pleased to have you represent us, and we're thankful that you're doing that. In that regard, I want to talk to you tonight about congressional research and what I, as an historian, might be able to offer you in that regard. As you know, agendas and politics often go hand in hand. That is also the case of history. However, at Liberty University, which you may know is a solid Christian university, we are very aware of our biases and our agenda outside of the realm of history. And we take caution to make sure that that does not drive our history per se. We know that that can be a bias, and bias is a difficulty for historians of any belief, of any culture, but we take that head on, and we strive to make sure that that is not a part of our historical research to as much as we can. Everybody has that crutch of a bias that they're going to take with them. But what I can do, what we do here at Liberty University is, instead of taking our Christian worldview and taking that as a dictation of our history, an outline that we can fill in what we believe is happening based on our Christianity and our belief, we take that Christian worldview as a lens to view history through, to view the complex web of events and people and cultures and how they fit together. We as Christians believe we can see the beginning and the end. We know the story, but we don't apply our worldview through providential analysis or that sort to history. We're able to give an unbiased account of what happened. Now, this can apply in your offices as you are preparing to propose, preparing to vote on, preparing to review legislation. You need good history analysis. And honestly, you need history analysis without an agenda. But what I can offer you is history analysis with a lens of who your constituents are, things that are important to us, things that are important to you. We can share that together. And here's how I can do that. Okay, as you know, we are here in the Central Valley in California, a giant red island in a giant blue state. We often feel misrepresented. But what I can do, I have lenses through my experience in life that I can analyze history. I can analyze our local history and determine, what things work, what things haven't worked, and how you can incorporate that in your legislation and your representation of us. For instance, I grew up down near Los Angeles, a very liberal area. I moved my family here to Bakersfield 14 years ago, so I've experienced both sides of that coin, that liberal conservative coin. And so I can use that lens to incorporate both sides of that as you are looking at legislation to represent us, to benefit us in California. I am also a military veteran, so I can look through that lens and see regulations, see policies that have worked, how our veterans are being treated. I'd like to talk to you about that, by the way. Some things work, some things don't. I can see that in the past. I can see that in the current happenings. I'm also about to enter the education profession. I can look through that lens. My wife has been a teacher for going on 20 years. So we're a life of education. This is another lens that I can research through to see policies that have worked, regulations that have worked, too much government, too little government, which ones have worked, which ones haven't. I can look through that without an agenda, but with an understanding by looking through that lens. And so I can sincerely and honestly bring back analysis to you that will meet our needs. Additionally, we know that water, drought is a big issue here in California. With the Air Force, I'm a meteorologist, battlefield weather forecaster. I have the tools to study climatology. I can look through that lens. I can see what water regulations, what policies have worked in times of plenty of water, as far as water retention and saving that, and what stuff has helped or hurt in times of drought. We know that's an important thing. Here in the Valley, we're one of the largest agricultural producers in the world just by ourselves. And so there are a lot of important things going on here. So what I'd like to offer to you as my services as a congressional researcher or a presidential researcher, 2024, that would be a lot of fun. But I would enjoy serving in that way and working alongside you in that way if you need a hand from back here in California. So that's something that I can do for you as an historian from Liberty University. I can give you an honest and sincere analysis of historical subjects that you need to look into, and I would like to do that for you. So again, thank you for your representation. I think our senators are not aware that there are actually people that live in California, but you are, and I appreciate that. I'd love to hear back from you, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, and thanks again.